Greetings and welcome to Smashcast, your favorite Super Smash Bros. Podcast where we discuss the best in Smash news.
We're your hosts, Hinata, and
Reach Dude Rocks.
from the Smash Sports forums. Remember to check out smashsports.com for more interesting Super Smash Bros. News, discussions, and gameplay videos. We have a great roster today. We'll have them introduce themselves. Everyone introduce yourselves.
I'm DinoMan96.
I'm Pick. Hello.
I'm senseless.
I'm Supanomics.
And
I'm Nico Mar.
and then there's Nico Mar. Alright. Now, take us away.
Right. So, today we're going to be talking about some recently surfaced leaks that appeared on 4chan on Wednesday, January 22nd, in the thread that has since already been deleted. The reason we're talking about it today, though, is because these leaked images have actually withstood the test of time, or skilled debunkers, fakes rather. It sparked lots of buzz since they're surfacing, and if they're fake, they would be one of the most believable Smash fakes of all time. So the question is today, guys, are these leaked screenshots real? What are your initial thoughts?
Nope, they're not real. I'm kidding. I believe
I
them.
think they're real.
I mean,
I'd
you
buy them
know,
for $1.
I still want to be on the fence, but I'm somewhat leaning towards real.
Yeah, same.
Hashtag
Yeah.
Team Real.
I'm pretty neutral on this. I don't know what to think.
Okay.
There's a lot of evidence there for it, though. So
Just go with the
who
flow.
knows?
Just leave it.
Yeah, as you can tell, co-host Hinata really wants Palutena to be in there.
Yeah.
Lady Palutena must be a thing.
Indeed.
Well, I'm pretty neutral, but maybe not pretty neutral. More like handsome neutral. No. I'm neutral. I'm neutral, but I'm leaning to thinking it's real, just because of, there hasn't been much or much of anything that could debunk this, saying that it's fake. So, it's just kind of, reasonable for me to believe so. So, we're actually going to start off this podcast talking about some of the reasons why people think the leaks are actually fake. So, one of the first points is that the Palutena model in those two screenshots are actually exported from Kid Icarus Uprising or the Brawl models. So, what do you guys think about that?
Well,
No,
first off, you
Oh.
can't export things from the 3DS yet. Like the
Yeah.
3DS is not hackable at this point.
Right.
I will say that if this is all fake, this does not look like any sort of Photoshop to me. This is this person probably built these two models from the ground up or something.
Yeah.
Probably.
Use the
These are
photo
definitely
editing.
original models.
They use the photo editing software they built themselves.
Yeah.
Wow. So yeah, not the Brawl model, and it's not the Uprising model. So
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about a Brawl hack model?
Doesn't look. And it seems to be like a combination of the Uprising and the Brawl design.
Yeah. Yeah, that kind of seems to be my take on it. Like looking at the design choices it has, it seems to take a little bit from Uprising and a bit from Brawl, but it doesn't look like, Brawl model edited to look like Uprising or Uprising model edited to look like Brawl. It just
Yeah.
happens to look like both,
yeah, it's just a general Palutena design.
Yep. So another point is that, I mean, we kind of already debunked it, but that it could be from the subspace and Uprising cutscenes.
I mean, that doesn't even make any sense because those are just CGI or animation. You
Yeah,
can't
those
rip
are
anything from that.
pre-rendered cutscenes. The models for that are not going to be on the disc because they're cutscenes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And plus, even if you could get the models, they're basically the same models.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
trophy model in Brawl is basically the same model they used in the cutscene. So, yeah.
And
But-
all the cutscenes have already been analyzed. There's not even Palutena doesn't even appear in the game on screen that often, so there's really not too much to work with.
Right. It's true.
Right.
And yeah, it's definitely not of any of those things. Another one that I didn't even think about when this originally came out is the Palutena model from the AR cards.
People have analyzed that, and no, they did not find a direct match.
I've analyzed it myself.
No
Yeah,
direct
yeah.
Yeah,
match.
the AR card can be viewed at any angle, but it's just the uprising model. Like the uprising model is pretty much the same as the AR model, if that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's definitely not that. And I imagine that since hacking is already hard for the 3DS, hacking to get an AR model would be even worse because
Oh yeah.
that's
Oh
way
yeah.
deeper.
Definitely.
Oh yeah. Another thing is that like the pose in the AR model is a bit more fluid than the pose in the League.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So
Yeah,
there
so
would
they are different.
and there would be no reason for this if it's fake for the person who made it to make it more stiff, you
Yeah.
know. So yeah, that's a good point. Um, there's also another one that I find as a weak argument that the Palutena model is actually based off the animated short.
Yeah,
Um,
we already discussed this.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely
It's
not.
not a
Just
Photoshop. It's like
even if it
a
wasn't
full
based off
3D
of it,
model.
Yeah, they did not use Photoshop for this if it is fake.
Yep. Um, so here are a couple very related points that people bring up. They say that Palutena's belt doesn't wrap all the way around her, and that Palutena's hand is actually clipping through her scepter or staff, and that she's holding the staff at the same like angle, like the staff or the scepter rather. It's like facing the camera in the same way, almost as if it were like just made for that perspective, like a 2D image. So, what do you guys think about all that?
Hmm.
The clipping thing is a funny story because we have a few Wii U shots that show, you know,
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a
not the
Lot of
bunch of
best.
clipping
clipping.
shots. Like
Yeah.
Zelda's leg phasing through her dress. It's like you think her like thumb clipping through her scepter is like that bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a shot where Pit is holding his blades, right? And like, I think he's twirling them around. I don't really remember, but his hand is clipping through the same way that Palutena's is. It's just part of like an unfinished game, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you have the E3 trailer where Link's foot is clipping in every single frame.
Yeesh.
Oh yeah, you mean his legs? Yeah, like
Yeah.
every step Link takes, like they go right through his tunic.
And plus about the belt like not wrapping all the way around her. In the animated like drawn short, Medusa's belt doesn't wrap all the way around her like Nintendo produced.
Yeah.
And in the AR card model, like from Kid Icarus Uprising, her belt doesn't wrap around her in that either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So even if it's not a clipping issue, I mean, you have that. It really fits in well. And not to mention, we have from the animated short, you see Medusa's belt is the exact same way, and it's not fully wrapped around her.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. This one really strikes home to me because I work in Photoshop a lot, and a lot of people just say that this these screens are just a product of many hours in Photoshop.
No.
Is complete bullshit.
People feel like Photoshop has like the power to like create
God.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah, Photoshop is not a magic tool.
it does have its
You know.
limits.
Yeah, yeah.
It has hard limits, really.
And the thing is that the like it's not like it's in like I'm gonna play devil's advocate here. Like it's not like it's impossible, let's say, to make something like that, but you would need like a lot of textures to work with. You would need a lot of like resources that are basically made to make those screens. And we've seen the animated stuff, we've seen the models, and none of those things really help in terms of making, those fake screenshots. So that's definitely not plausible.
If we ever find the guy who faked these images, you should put him on this show.
Yeah.
Interview
Yeah.
him.
If he faked.
If it is fake.
Yeah, and he should host a little tutorial for us too. So We can
So we
make
can make
all
all the
Yeah.
leaks we want.
yeah, make all our little Ridleys and Lil Max and K Rules.
Yeah.
Yep. So moving from Palutena, another point against the whole leaks fiasco is that Mario, in one of the screenshots, he's present alongside Palutena. Some people believe that that Mario model could be either ripped or like based off the E3 Developer Direct video, where it shows some panning and rotating around Mario's model on the 3DS.
If they can find the exact frame on that E3 video, then I would think it's credible. But um, I don't think they've found that frame yet.
No, they haven't. I think a lot of people have scrubbed through, and nothing yet. Yeah. Um, Also, some people think that the Mario model could just be a edited version of the Brawl model.
Nah.
No, nah.
Yep. Definitely
Because
not.
the most recent like Brawl mod that like has Mario from like the Smash 4 version isn't the updated version from the Adventure update 2 days prior to this. I believe.
Right, right.
Yeah.
And
So,
the mod
mhm.
for Mario in Brawl is based off the Wii U design and not the 3DS design. Well, appearance.
Hmm. So wait, what do
Right.
you mean by like the image having updated Mario design actually?
Oh,
Thanks for
that's an
bringing that up.
interesting note, actually.
Yeah.
Well, for those of you that don't know, this is actually something that we're going to touch base on in a few. I mean, after we get through these points, but the Mario model in the leaked screenshots looks more similar to Mario in a recent Miiverse Pick of the Day update that Sakurai made, and it doesn't look like the Mario in the earlier screenshots and videos like the one from Developer Direct. So it would be hard for it's not really possible for that model to be either the one from the E3 video, and it's hard for it to be just a Brawl model because though it's different even from the ones that are definitely official.
Yeah.
Right. Another argument is that the trees in the screenshot shouldn't be able to be viewed like that from that angle.
I think this is the most credible evidence. What do you guys think?
I disagree completely because the trees are a fixed 2D image, much like the food from the previous Smash Brothers games or the trees from Animal Crossing. And
Oh,
we already
yeah.
have
Oh yeah.
we already have
Yeah,
the
it's
image
possible.
of Toon Link and Adult Link standing on the platform,
Yeah.
and you can see the trees in a very similar angle. So
Yeah.
we already
Oh,
know it's possible to view them in that way.
Mm-hmm.
interesting. Yeah.
Yeah,
Possible
yeah.
to view them from any angle.
And the thing is that like for that Toon Link and Link shot, it's set up very nicely. Like the camera's lower, but it's like pointed towards I guess more in a more upwards fashion. It's a little tilted a bit, and it looks kind of like the trees and the current screenshots we're talking about the leaks, and I'm not sure if that means that we're gonna have some crappy looking trees in the 3DS version. They just look the same at every angle, but it definitely means that you can get some similar looking shots.
Yeah.
Um, a similar argument is that the mountains and clouds in the background could be copied and pasted from other images. And there's actually a GIF um, that has been shown that shows like one of the clouds behind, or let's say, yeah, behind Palutena to her right, or to the right of the screen. It actually matches up similarly to another similar looking cloud in another well, not even a screenshot, in a frame from one of the trailer videos. So, people are saying, it could be one of the clouds from there.
Yeah. And in this image, another argument I saw brought up that the clouds look more faded and more shadowy in the Palutena pic.
Yeah.
And I can say right now, if you compare the two images that are overlaid, the image that we've seen before from footage, it's a earlier time in the day. And we already know that there's a dynamic day and night system. So it just makes sense as it gets darker, the clouds are going to become more shadowy and blend in with the background more.
And
Yeah.
of course, the
True.
clouds also move in the background, so it's not that
Yeah.
unlikely to get a position where they look similar to one before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Very true.
again, the clouds and the rocks in the background from various screenshots, we can tell that they appear to be fixed 3D images to save on space. And it's going to create some pretty awkward angles as you keep looking at different photos, but it's consistent from what you've seen.
Yeah, that's probably the most the best way to look at that, because hey, 3DS has its limitations, and that's just gonna be how it looks.
Yeah.
So now I'm just gonna bombard you guys with a couple questions that aren't exactly
Right.
like proofs or flaws, but
Just questions.
yeah, like for example, why doesn't the image, the leaked screenshots show the bottom screen? Why doesn't it show the player's feet? And why
Well,
doesn't it show any attacks? Why is it from the 3DS and not the Wii U? And why did the leaker only happen to show Palutena and not other content like the selection screen or other characters? This guy.
Too many
About that.
questions. Whoa.
well, about the ground, I saw like in the Smash Wars, the same user who debunked the Nest Jigglypuff fake image. He made like a comparison of like Palutena's model from Brawl, like the ground, and he saw
Yeah.
that like matched up with like the Wii U. You know what I'm talking about, right?
And
Yeah.
Mario's legs
Yeah.
matched up too, right? So they were
Yeah.
standing on the
Yeah.
ground.
Yeah, so Palutena with her Brawl model, her feet are 1-to-1 if you compare them off the ground. And if you see the way her legs are bent, she has a slight bent in her knee, and it's very plausible that they're both touching the ground. So, from the way I see it, and that we've already debunked, she's not just a top half created in Photoshop. She's a full model standing on an actual platform.
And that's some dedication if you're making a fake. So I know Hanada has something to say about all that.
Yep, I have something to say for every question you ask.
I know.
Hooray.
Of course.
Well, I mean, I'm here and like I need to have something to say, so gotta have answers.
Fight for your lady.
Yeah, man. Go
Yes,
for
fight
it.
for Lady Palutena. Anyway, why doesn't the image show the bottom screen? Because what if it's not relevant? Like, what if there's nothing on the bottom screen? Like, maybe the percentage are on the top and the bottom screen is not used at all. Like, I know that's kind of unlikely, but it's still possible. We haven't seen the bottom screen in any screenshot.
Yeah.
Why does
Yeah.
the image show the player's feet? Are feet really relevant? You know they have them. Why do you need to see them?
And most of the pics of the day, I mean, they don't have the character's feet, so why does that matter?
Yeah.
When I first saw
Yeah.
this question, I thought they meant the person who took the picture's feet.
That's funny.
We want to see this person's feet.
Whoops.
We need to know that you're a real person, so show your feet.
Maybe they're ghosts. They don't have feet.
Wow.
Anyway, why does the image show any attacks? Because what if someone, like, that would just make it easier for someone to claim that she's an assist trophy, because what if it's like showing one of her specials and someone could claim like, oh, that's just part of what she does as an assist trophy.
Let me
Like,
interrupt there. And I feel like also, I mean, there's two reasons why it wouldn't be attacks. One, because someone mentioned that with attacks, it would be a strange motion blur in effect if he's trying to take a picture, So it wouldn't help show off the fact that she's in the game. So
And,
having her in an idle animation or in a taunt would be more convenient to tell people, hey, look, she's in.
Yeah,
And
and
plus,
it shows
like-
off her model completely. And if she's attacking and there's a blur, that's just gonna kind of people say, oh, they used Photoshop to hide any problems
inconsistencies.
that they had with it. Yeah,
Yeah.
And about that, like, think about it, like, not only would there be motion blur, but this is an off screenshot, so that would just make it even worse.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And why is the image from the 3DS not Wii U? Because the 3DS, if you're like actually leaking it, it's easier to just take out to wherever you need to go. That somebody doesn't have a lot of people, snap a few screenshots and put it back. Like, if
Yeah.
you go to the Wii U, it's like set up in some probably public room where everyone can see you, like taking screenshots. Someone's probably gonna be like, "Hey, what are you doing, man?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like someone else mentioned, the SD card method. Take a couple pics and just take the SD card.
That's
Yeah.
definitely
Exactly.
true.
Yeah, like you could never get a Wii U screenshot. If you like Sakurai came in, he saw you like with your camera out, bringing it up slowly, he'd like throw a ninja star right at you.
Yep.
Your
People
ass
will
will be
attack a
dead in
marble on
minutes.
you.
He'd take the disc out of the Wii U and slice your head off with it.
Yeah.
That guy again.
As for the last question, why did the leaker only show Palutena and not more content? I think it's like a huge dick move to the developer to just leak everything.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That would
It's just money. Like
create just
they're
way too much
developing this
chaos.
game, you know.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Also from like another point of view, this in conjoinment with the bottom screen question, I don't think the UI is the priority right now. Like, the menu for the bottom screen, that doesn't have to be finished. That could be like all like crappy looking as of now because they're all in, development, you know? What they
Yeah.
need is the game to work. They don't need, the UI to look pretty yet. And so that definitely can be something that's not even complete as of right now. Like the selection screen, who knows if they even know who everybody's gonna be in the game,
Yeah.
Well, they know who's all gonna be in the game, but
They probably don't have like the menu laid out yet.
yeah, that'd be like the last kind of aesthetic thing you do,
Right.
or at least I would think.
Okay, break.